In this tutorial, we're going to play around with recursion a little bit. Now, it's a common misconception that if we didn't have some kind of terminating condition on the inside of our recursive method, that it would go on forever, kind of like an infinite loop. Well, let's do this. I'm going to come up here to the program, drop down a line, and I'll say static void recurse. And for now, we're not going to pass any parameters here. Now, on the inside, we can do a console.writeLine. And for now, we'll just put hello or something like that. And then immediately after that, we'll call recurse. So if you remember from the last tutorial, there were three requirements for recursion. The first was the recursive call, and you can see that we've done that. The second was that we have some kind of terminating condition, and we don't have a terminating condition. And then, of course, the third was making progress towards that terminating condition, but we really haven't done anything like that either. Now, to kick things off, I'll come down here in main, and I'll just call recurse. So then the question is, what's going to happen? A lot of students, when they first get into this, think that this is going to go on forever, so let's see what happens. I'm going to let it run for a while. And it does appear to be an infinite loop. However, if you let it run long enough, you can see that the process is terminated due to a Stack Overflow exception. So what does that even mean, a Stack Overflow exception? Well, you should realize from the last tutorial what's happening. We have a stack that's constantly building up every time we're recursively calling this method. And because the stack is stored in memory and we only have a limited amount of memory, this can't go on forever. So we'll go ahead and close the program. So you may be asking yourself, how high can our stack actually go? Well, let's modify the code just a little bit. We'll put height here as a parameter and say height plus plus on the inside. In this case, what we'll do, instead of just printing out hello, we can print out the height. Now, when we recursively call this function, we're just going to pass it height, which has already been incremented, and then to start it off, we'll pass it 0. If I were to run this again, you can see that it's going to go up for quite some time, and again, I'll let it run for a little while. So in this case, you can see that the method was actually called 85,979 times. And then what happened is that we ran out of memory, so we got a Stack Overflow exception. So I'll go ahead and close this. So that's it for this tutorial. It was really short, but hopefully it dispels the myth that recursion can go on forever, and that's not really the case because we know that we'll eventually run out of memory.